Hello and welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Orina. TMC MP Derek O'Brien raised this issue of delay in the disbursement of Provident Fund and NEFT transfers in the Rajya Sabha for those with certain Portuguese names in Goa and the rest of India. He pointed out that people are facing hardships in redeeming their Provident funds as the EPFO software fails to recognize surnames with apostrophes and hyphens. The EPFO officials are now asking people to change their names in government-issued KYC documents, which is unnecessary and illegal, said O'Brien. O'Brien urged the centre to introduce accents in the names in EPFO software for the smooth dispersal of Provident funds, as failure to do so was hurting the citizens of Goa.
TMC leader Derek O'Brien urges centre to introduce accents for names in the EPFO software. EPFO software fails to recognize surnames with apostrophes and hyphens. EPFO officials demand to change surname unnecessary and illegal, says TMC leader Derek O'Brien.
Sir, the special mention is on the need to address the delay in dispersal of Provident Fund for those with Portuguese origin names in Goa and the rest of India. So owing to the computer programming, people are facing hardship redeeming their Provident Fund and NEFT transfers are being refused by the EPFO. So the software actually is unable to process any name which has an apostrophe or a dash in it.
Please.
EPFO officials are now asking individuals to change their surnames in government-issued KYC documents such as Aadhaar, passport, and PF processing. So the names were accepted earlier in these documents, but now they are not. So asking to change such surnames, sir, is, you will agree, very unfair and illegal. Why should Indian citizens who have an apostrophe or a hyphen in their names be pressurized to change their names? Sir, this hurts citizens, especially the citizens of Goa. Let me tell you why. Because names with an apostrophe in their surnames, such as De Cruz, De Rosario, De Silva, De Gama, Desa, De Melo, these are common names, sir, especially from Salsette in South Goa. And there are many with these surnames who live across Goa, but especially in Nuvim, Fatorda, Kutturim, Margao, Naveli, Benauli, Velim, Kunkulam, no long list. Sir, besides these names of Portuguese descent, there's a microscopic community, sir, only few hundred thousand, the community I belong to, the Anglo-Indian community. So some of us also have, because of some European descent, someone's great-grandfather, Anglo, so those names also have apostrophes, like O'Connor, O'Donnell. Okay. Right. Similarly, there are certain double-barrel names. So, say Taylor Smith or any name with a hyphen in it would be rejected, sir, by the EPFO. Asking Indian citizens to change their names because of a computer program, sir, is quite unnecessary. Sir, the government had promised us a seamless digital experience. The Home Minister gave us a half-an-hour speech on that, sir.
Please.
I urge the government to modify the EPFO software to accommodate all names with apostrophes and hyphens. No one should be deprived of their Provident Fund, and no one in the beautiful state of Goa must be humiliated. Thank you, sir.
Bureau report for Herald TV.
In a shocking incident, a human skeleton was found on the second floor of a building in the heart of Mapusa town on Wednesday evening. Mapusa police conducted the Panchnama and shifted the skeleton to the Goa Medical College and Hospital, GMC at Bamboli, for further investigation.
Skeleton found in a building at Mapusa Market. Mapusa police conducts Panchnama and has shifted the skeleton to GMC at Bamboli for further investigation. According to the sources in the police, the skeleton was detected on the second floor of a building in the Mapusa Municipal Market above the shops selling grams and groundnuts. No stalls are presently operating on the second floor of the building. Mapusa Municipal Council has decided to undertake repairs of the second floor. According to municipal staff, had visited the site at the building for inspection of the floor where they found the skeleton. Chief officer of MMC was informed about the skeleton, following which he intimated about it to the Mapusa police. The team of Mapusa police visited the spot along with municipal staff, and after completing all the formalities, shifted the skeleton to the GMC for further investigation. Police suspect that the skeleton could be of a man who may have died several months back. It may be noted that MMC had blocked access to the second floor of the building in the market much and some 3 years back after some person and people were found consuming alcohol on the floor.
डेड बॉडी अशी गावूंक ना. आतां आमच्या मार्केटान आमचे MI आसता ते MIचो आमचें म्हणणें आसा की आमी आतां ती शॉपां बंद आसा म्हणून आमी आतां ती शॉपां सारकी करून ती दिवपाक ऑक्शनाक काडपाक सोदतालीं. त्या खातीर आमचे MIक आमी धाडलेले पळय थंय काम करुया अशें. MI थंय गेलो उगडलें पळयत जाल्यार थंय कितें तरी स्केलेटन कशें बेश्टे 2 हाडां कपडे पॅन्ट अशें कितें तरी थंय दिसलें. पूण तें एक्झॅक्ट मडें अशें म्हणून सांगूंक शकना. स्केलेटन अर्दवट म्हणजे 2-3 हाडां अशे पद्दतीन दिसलीं. आतां थंय कोणें हाडून उडयल्या जाल्यार खबर ना. उडयतले जाल्यार सुद्दां ती पॅक आसा पूण धाडींतल्यान बी अशें पत्र्यांतल्यान बारीक मनशाक सुद्दां वचूंक मेळना तशी वाट. बारीकल्यान भितून कितें तरी उडयला कोणें मुद्दाम करून जाल्यार नकय. पूण थंय जर मनशाचे बी आसत न्ही त्या बिल्डिंगेन जाल्यार सरावंडींग सगळें मार्केट न्ही ती मेन एरिया. आमी सादो एक उंदीर कुसलेलो आसत नुस्तें कुसलेलें जाल्यार आमकां कितलोसो वास येता आनी मनशाची येदी व्हडली बॉडी थंय कुसप आनी ती इतली घाण जावप जाल्यार ती सगळे बरो वास येवंक जालो. तो वास तसो येवंकूच ना थंय. आनी आमचे MI थंय आसतातूच. आतां थंय कितें कितें घाण आसता कोण पियेता कोण बाटले हे तें आसता थंय पूण ते सकयल थंयसरूच अशें हितून ना. त्या हितून ना ते पॅक आसा सारके. ते मनशाचे अशें बी कळना. आतां पोलिसाक आमी कळयला पोलीस येयल्या आनी चालू आसा तेंचो प्रोसेस. पूण एक्झॅक्ट हांव बी सांगूंक शकना एक्झॅक्ट कितें जालां. पूण तरी आसतना हांव आमच्या MIक सांगलां की तुमी थंय लक्ष दीत रावपाचें पळयत रावपाचें आनी फुडलो कितें आसा पळय अशी घटना न घडपा खातीर प्रयत्न आमचो चालू आसा.
It is Prakash Gadekar and Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
Goa Foundation Director Claude Alvarez, reacting to Environment Minister Nilesh Cabral's statement that the Tamnar project is needed in the state, said this was contrary to what the minister had said earlier. Alvarez said what Cabral is saying today is completely contrary to what he had said when he was in charge of the Power Ministry. At that time, in 2018-2019, he had produced a paper wherein he tried to analyze the issue and problem of power in Goa. That time, he said that the infrastructure for these plants is not proper.
Claude Alvarez challenges Cabral's power requirement statement. Claude says what Cabral is saying today is completely contrary to what he had said when he was in charge of the Power Ministry.
अरे तानमार तोच माझ्या तेजे स्टेटमेंट आज खंयच्या पेपराचेर येयला पळय तितून तो एक तरी कोण तरी आपण एनवायरमेंटलिस्टांनी गोंय वाचयता म्हणटा पळय तेणें कितें सांगलां आपणा म्हाका गायड करता. हांवें ताका पयर आतांच स्टेटमेंट तुमच्या माध्यमांतल्यान केला की हांव आत्तां देखून येवपाक म्हाका येवन मेळ म्हणून सांग ताका म्हाका आनी म्हाका गायड कर म्हणून सांग की गोंयांत जी लायटीचो जो दर्जो वाडटा काल पासून हांव जेन्ना बिफोर आय वॉज CM पळयता पोर्टफोलियो तितून देखून हांवें पळयलां 700 मेगावॉट पावर पावला आनी आतां एप्रील मे म्हाका दिसता 750 पावणे 800 पावतले ते पीक लोड पावतले आनी तितून ऑलरेडी आमी पावर कट डावन करपाक लागल्या. आनी हो हेणें म्हाका शिकोवपाची गरज ना काम करपाक. सरकार गोंयचो जाल्लो आसा आनी जी गोश्टी गोंयकारा खातीर करपाक जाय ते करपाकूच जाय. नाल्यार तो आतां येवन म्हाका गायड करता म्हणटा पळय ताका येवन गायड करपाक लाय. हांव ऑफिसान रावता म्हणून 5 ताका यो म्हणून सांग म्हज्या ऑफिसान आनी म्हाका गायड कर की लोकांक 24 वरां लायट कशी दिवपाची आहा. सी वी हॅव प्लॅन एज पावर मिनिस्टर वी हॅड प्लॅन आनी आमी पळयलां की सगळे उपाय पळोवनूच हे 24 वरां लायट जर दिवपाक जाय लोकांक बरे भाशेन विदाउट पावर कट वी रिक्वायर इनकमिंग लायट.
For over the period of next 3 to 4 years, there will be a major problem when it comes to power supply in Goa.
You have to look, if you look at his analysis of the power situation when he took over as the power minister in 2018-2019, At that time, he wrote a very interesting paper. It's called it a white paper on the complete status of power situation in Goa. And that, is on the Goa Electricity Department website. Now, there he says, presently the state is receiving 392 megawatts from the western region and 100 megawatts from the southern region. That is a total of 492 megawatts. And he said that the power requirement is 572 to 610 megawatts, and we are getting the balance from the Indian Energy Exchange, which is a facility that is available. Then he says, per se, there is no shortage of power. This is his own words. And then he says that difficulties are in transmitting the said power to Goa and receiving the same at various extra high voltage stations. That is EHV stations. Now he says all the EHV substations are already heavily loaded and cannot transmit and distribute the required power at many places. And the transformers and substations as a whole are loaded and cannot cater to the loads of the consumers. Distribution network of that substation does not even exist.
Correct.
Many of these other fellow transformers are down, they have to be replaced and things like that. So what we are saying is, you are saying that 400 kV HTL is required. Now, if you bring even 1000 megawatt power into Goa, if your substations cannot receive and distribute that power because they are in all very old, power stations, they have got no capacity to distribute. They have, these systems are very badly designed, and there are 7 substations of this kind all over Goa. Then, where is the issue? We have been struggling. This Mr. Cabral has become power minister now. We have been in the High Court when the Reliance 40 megawatt power station, power generation station was being set up in Sankwal. And we have been fighting there. That is more than 20 years ago. At that time, we told the High Court and the government also that if you do not improve your transmission network in the state of Goa, Goa will never have stable power. Now, these situations in Goa, if you want to protect the greenery and if you are an environment minister, Mr. Cabral should be number one demanding with the government to put all the lines under the ground. Why are they continuing after so many years to keep the lines above the ground?
Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
Jaspal Singh, who took over as the Goa DGP on Thursday, said that Goa was once synonymous with drugs, but today they are much under control. Today, culture, music and people are the USP of Goa, he said. Singh was the SP of anti-narcotics cell in his previous stint in Goa. Asked about police atrocities in Goa, he said he has no knowledge of the facts and added police need to be courteous. He also stated that police need to develop capacities to fight cybercrime.
Definitely share our efforts with the political leadership of the country and administrative leadership.
Sir, you joined as a SP ANC when you were posted in Goa. So from that time onward till today, almost 2 decades has passed. So how you see the drugs in Goa, whether it has been controlled or still increasing?
Because giving a statement like this is very difficult unless I again review the figures, because I do not have the statistics at my disposal.
But that time you are very strict.
I think that in general we have been able to make a dent on the suppliers.
Because when you first posting you are very strict.
It is much under control, I would say. Much under control. Because at that time it used to be synonymous. It used to be synonymous with drug, but now people don't come for this. Now people come to see the natural beauty, Goan food, Goan culture, Goan music. So now the USP of Goan state is its culture and its beaches. Earlier, yes, you said when I was SP anti-narcotics, it used to be synonymous with but now, so that goes to show that there has been much shift in our emphasis also, and there has been drastic reduction. कोई भी policeman in general arrogant नहीं होना चाहिए, because ultimately the department exists to help the people. But इस stage पे मैं किसी भी specific incident के बारे में, क्योंकि मैं उस facts के बारे में जानकारी नहीं रखता हूँ, आज मैंने ज्वाइन किया है। बट ये हम सुनिश्चित करेंगे कि जो हमारी इंटरेक्शंस पब्लिक के साथ, चाहे वो बीट लेवल पे है, चाहे वो PCR लेवल पे है, चाहे पुलिस स्टेशन लेवल पे है या पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर, उसमें कर्टियस होना चाहिए और लोगों को जो उनकी समस्या का अगर समाधान हमारे पास नहीं है, कई बार लोग बहुत सारी ऐसी समस्याएं लेके आते हैं जिसका समाधान पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट के पास नहीं होता, सिविल मैटर्स होते हैं या कोई प्रॉपर्टी रिलेटेड डिस्प्यूट्स होते हैं, तो उसमें वो फिर पुलिस से ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा हेल्प की एक्सपेक्टेशन रखते हैं।
New Tourism Minister Rohan Kaunte said that Goa will have the best world-class tourist facilities that will bring in more tourists to the state. When questioned about former tourism minister's work, he said that there are things that needs to be put in place and need to be planned properly. Meanwhile, former minister Manohar Babu Asgaonkar said the show must go on and new tourism minister should take up the pending assignments.
The show must go on. Take the pending matters ahead, says former tourism minister Babu Asgaonkar to new tourism minister, that is Rohan Kaunte. New tourism minister Rohan Kaunte said that Goa will have world-class tourism facilities that will bring in more tourists to the state.
We'll review everything possible, see what it is. We have to understand that when it comes to foreign exchange also, we need to understand how much of the money from the foreigners actually contribute to the GDP, what it is. We have to technically also look at things, we have to also physically look at infrastructure, we have to look at so many things. So let us not just keep one line which media will take up and create more news. Let us create good news for the state, which will be forthcoming very soon.
So if certain things doesn't get revenue for Goa, you don't require that for the state. You mean to say that?
Cabrals has a problem.
Sir, Goa is known for Russian tourists coming.
See, we have to understand. There is a war in Ukraine. When there is a war in Ukraine, you have what my understanding is, there are problems of footfalls of those segment of tourists which has been coming to Goa. At the same time, there has been problem in Sri Lanka. So we may have a lot of footfalls coming from people who would normally visit Sri Lanka. These are all virtual things which I am sharing with you. Once we know physically how it is, we understand how it is, we need to understand how we market ourselves, how we create a brand and attract the right quality of tourists. So whatever is there as a plan, let us discuss in detail. Let us not make it into small parrots. Let us have a problem. I have said one thing. Stakeholders will be taken in confidence. We will have a proper roadmap. High quality tourists will be required to be coming here, and for that we need to take care of various segments. You have to understand COVID has touched upon many areas. I would like to put it on the record, there are a lot of revenue leakages also, which if tapped can give huge revenue in the existing segments to the tourism industry.
कैसा बोल सकता है? अभी अपना पार्टी का आदमी हो, बाहर का तो नहीं है,
लेकिन पार्टी का
जो क्या किया है वो पूरा गोवा को लोग जानता है। ऊपर से नेशनल इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे टूरिज्म मैंने पहुंचाया हुआ। आज का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर देखेंगे, दर्शन 100 दर्शन भी, 100 दर्शन, इसके अंदर से मेरा काम दिखाई देता है। 1,25,00,000 नेशनल इंटरनेशनल लेवल का टूरिस्ट 1 ईयर को मैंने लाया। इससे पहला ये कोई काम नहीं किया। ना वो तो मैं नहीं बोलता है। हर एक का दिमाग हर एक के लिए नहीं चलाना चाहिए। मेरे हाथ में है, मैंने चलाया। अभी उससे आगे बढ़कर उसने चलाने हांव कित्याक सांगतो कितें सांगता माझे कितें आहा तें सांगलां हांवें। शो मस्ट गो
अजूनही पण तेण्यानी करून दाखयता इतले ट्युरिस्ट हाडले न्हू गोंयान, सो तेण्यानी थंय हाडूंक जाय न्हू शो मस्ट गो ऑन
हाडपाच आनी हर एक मनीस आपली टॅलेंट दाखोवपाक।
तो हाडना जाल्यार फेल
ना हांव तें सांगना, तें तेणें पळोवपाचें, ते लोक सांगता।
ओके, आनी एक इशू
अरे अभी सब लोग आने देख रहे हैं क्योंकि ये तो सबसे बड़ा समुद्र है। उससे सब लोग डूबना चाहते हैं।
तो दिगंबर डूबना चाहता है सर?
नहीं, वो तो आना चाहता है, सब लोग बोल रहे हैं, आप भी बोल रहे हैं।
आपने बोला डूबना चाहता है करके।
अरे सब लोग ये तो दरिया है।
हाँ, तो डुबेगे। सर आनी कितें तुका यू अग्रीड टू दॅट दिगंबर घेतलो जाल्यार कित्याक तुवें मडगांव कॉन्टेस्ट केल्लें?
अरे ती पार्टी ठरयतली न्ही, हांव कोण ठरोवपाक? पार्टी अरे मेरा पार्टी जो बोलेगा वो हो गया ना. अभी पार्टी ने बोला मुझे मडगांव ठहरो, मैंने ठहरा ना. मैं पेडणे से मडगांव आया ना.
बाबू पेडणे ना मडगांव ना हुई उरले
ते खरे नशिबान कितें हा पळय तें फुडें जातलें तें तूं सांगना काय म्हाका. म्हाजें कितें बीजेपी पार्टी पक्ष कितें सांगता तें घेवन आमी फुडें वयतले.
पेडणे गेले मडगांव गेले
कशें जातलें जावं शकता तूं काडून सांगू शकता तें
कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी
पेडण्या भितर मागीर काम
पण तुमचा
अरे तिथं नंबर 1 करून दाखयलें.
पण पेडण्याचा आमदार
अरे बाबा पेडण्यात ताका दिलं त्याने दाखय.
तो आमदार म्हणतात ते काय केलं तुमचाच आमदार
त्याने दाखय. पण तू जाणा मरे हांवें काम केलं.
काम केलं
जालें खबर. जो मनीस आता आपण हुशार म्हणटलोच न्ही तेका कोणें ना म्हणू शकता. त्याने दाखोवपाचें
ताका जिखोन हाडपाक हेल्प करूंक ना.
हांवें हेल्प केला.
तो ना म्हणटा कित्याक
तो सांगीत पूण लोक जाणा
न्हू तुज्या मनशांनी हेल्प केला ताका जिखोन हाडपाक नजर करता ना तूं
ना 100% करना.
तुका लागून
इंस्ट्रक्शन दिलं म्हाका व्हिडिओ कर आनी लोकां भितर घाल. हांवें सांगलें लोकांक आव्हान केलें की बीजेपीक वोट करचो.
तुजी मेसेज पावल्या म्हणून प्रवीण जिखलो.
ऑफकोर्स
ना जिखतो ना
ना तें हांव सांगना.
ओके.
It's William Rodriguez for Herald TV.
Even as Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant has said compulsory wearing of masks will be discontinued, Dr. Shekhar Salkar has said it is advisable to wear them for another 3 months till July 2022. This is recommended especially to those with serious diseases and in air-conditioned places. Salkar also said in case of accidents, very often the driver is to be blamed for negligence. Those who benefited from Ayushman Bharat program were felicitated on the occasion of World Health Day on Thursday.
Advisable to wear masks for another 3 months till July 2022, says Dr. Shekhar Salkar. This is recommended especially to those with serious diseases. Salkar calls on drivers to be more careful to avoid accidents.
मास्क जरी सध्या कोविड सामको कमी जाल्लो आसा आनी मास्क सुद्दां काडप इज एज अ डॉक्टर हांव म्हजी एक सिंपल एडवायस आहा. जांकां दुयेंसां आसा जे सामके सिनियर सिटीजन आहा जांकां हार्टाचें आसा किडनीचें आसा कॅन्सराचें आसा किमोथेरपीचें पेशंट आहा हॉस्पिटलांत तूं वता जाल्यार इट इज ऑलवेज सेफर टू वेअर अ मास्क. तुका कितें तरी दम्याचें आसा सेफर टू वेअर अ मास्क. येस सामके हेल्दी कोण आसा तांणी मास्क न घाल्यार जाता आनी सामकी गर्दी आसा सो सामकी इन द एसी बीसी आहा जाल्यार मातशीशी अळंग लावपाची टील जुलय म्हयनो तरी टील 3 म्हयने आनी मातशें सामकें इम्पॉर्टंट आसा. येस जरी गव्हर्मेंटान सांगलें की मास्क घालपाची कंपल्शन ना पूण आपली स्वताची काळजी आपणें घेवपाची गरज आसा.
तर नेबरिंग स्टेटान बॉन्ड केल्लें आसा.
नेबरिंग स्टेटांनी कितें केलें म्हणून आमकां करूंक जाय अशें ना. हांव कितें म्हणटा ओके कंपल्सरी ना घालपाची म्हणजे तुका फायन बीन कोण करचो ना तुवें मास्क घालूं ना म्हणून पूण तुवें स्वताची काळजी घेवपाची गरज आसा. म्हणजे तूं जर फाल्यां तुका किडनीचे प्रॉब्लेम आहा आतां मास्क ना म्हणून तें गव्हर्मेंटान सांगलां मास्क काडून तूं भोंवतलो ना तुवें घेवंक जाय. तुका दम्याचें आसा जाल्यार तुवें मास्क घालपाची गरज आसा. तुका हार्टाचें आहा तूं किमोथेरपी आहा.
William Rodriguez for Herald TV.
With seawater entering agricultural fields at Palye and damaging the cultivable agricultural land, Palye farmers from Perne have requested the help of concerned authorities to solve this issue. Even though the government has built sluice gates, its existence is in no way beneficial for the farmers since the seawater manages to enter the fields, thus contaminating the soil. For 5 years now, it is inconvenient for farmers to cultivate their fields. MLA Jeet Arolkar assured farmers that the issue will be resolved in 8 days.
Palye farmers have requested authorities to resolve the issue of seawater entering fields. Palye farmers of Perne, Goa find it tough to cultivate their fields for nearly 5 years. MLA Jeet Arolkar assured farmers that the issue will be resolved in 8 days.
आणि ताका लाकडी बसांक वय
ही जी मानसी केली त्यांना सारखी बसवून नसलेली
तेव्हा तीच बसवंक ना म्हणून हे पाजून शेत बुडले.
आता कितले वर्ष आले तुमका हे प्रॉब्लेम?
हे 5 वर्सां
आता 5 वर्षात तुम्ही शेतीत करूंक ना.
शेती आता 3 वर्सां येता भात इल्ला पोटरा इल्ला भात गेला शेती जावंक ना.
फाटल्यान हेच अधिकारी असले फाटल्यान जेन्ना काम केले पळय तेन्ना हेच अधिकारी असले काम करपाक काय नवीन अधिकारी
पहिले होते
डिपार्टमेंटूय ते
होते.
मानशेक तेंच्यांनी मानशेक हायट दिल्या कारणान उदीक आडवून उरता ताका लागून शेतांनी खाऱ्या उदीक गेली 2 वर्सां तेंची शेती करूंक मेळोंक ना तांकां. तेंच्यांनी मागणी इतलीच केली हे जाता तितले प्रायोरिटी मानशी आसली तशी पयलींची आसली तशी त्या लेवलीचेर हाडपाची
आयज आमी इंजिनियरांक WRDच्या घेवन येयलेले आहात. ऑलरेडी मानशेचे टेंडर प्रोसेस चाललो आहा, पूण प्रायोरिटी बेजीसचेर तांकां सांगलां नेक्स्ट विकान की जो लेवल पयलींचो आसलो मानशेचो तो लेवल परत हाडपाचो. तेंच्यांनी ते कमीट केला की 8 दिसां भितर हे काम स्टार्ट करतले. सकयल्यान वयर जो लेवल वाडयला तो फोडून ते सकयल्या लेवल हाडटले, जेणे करून सगळें उदीक वयतलें, शेतांतलें खारें उदीक वयतलें आनी ह्या वर्सा तांकां शेती करपाक मेळटली.
Ashmita Polji for Herald TV.
People, especially senior citizens, are facing inconvenience to pay their electricity bills. The electronic bill payment machine at Mapusa has remained non-functional for the past 1 year. Consumers are forced to stand in long queues for nearly an hour to manually pay the electricity bill, which would have otherwise taken just 5 minutes by using the machine.
People face inconvenience to pay electricity bills in Mapusa, Goa. The electronic bill payment machine has been non-functional for a year. Consumers are forced to stand in long queues to pay their bills.
हांव लायटीच्या डिपार्टमेंटांतल्यान फारीक करपाक येता. एका वर्सा पयलीं हांगा मशीन आशिल्लें. त्या मशिनान आमचे फास्ट कामां जातालीं. बील पेमेंट रोखडें जातालें आमकां रावचें लायनी रावपाची गरज नासली. आतां जवळ जवळ म्हाका 23 सपनां सोडून वयचें पडटा. हांव सिनियर सिटीजन, आमकां खूब त्रास जाता. बाकीचे जे मेथड्स आसा पेमेंट करपाचे हांव भंयस पेमेंट करता भितर. हो बेस्ट सारको मेथड. म्हणजे 23 सपनां आमच्या सिनियर सिटीजन सोडपाक डिफिकल्ट. त्याक ते सरकारा म्हजी विनंती आसा की हे मशीन जे बंद पडना फॉर ऑलमोस्ट फॉर 1 year लास्ट 1 year बंद पडना. ते जाता की बेगीन स्टार्ट करचें आनी आमकां जो त्रास जाता आनी आनी खुबशे सिनियर सिटीजन त्रास जाता.
हांव म्हापशा इलेक्ट्रीक डिपार्टमेंटान आसा पळय एक JCB घेता थंय एक मिशीन आसा ते खंयच्याय टायमार येता आनी पयशे भरयत येता. आता काय दिसामुळे हे 1.5 वरात जाले हे सध्या मिशीन बंद आहा आणि लोकांची सेवा बंद आहा सध्या. ते मातशें आमचे इलेक्ट्रीक डिपार्टमेंट कोण तो मिनिस्टर आहा तेणी लक्ष घातलें आनी जाता ते बेगीन मिशीन चालू करचें. दुसरी गोष्ट आमचे तेवटूनय आसले थंयसरूय बंद आहा सध्या.
Ashmita Polji for Herald TV.
Anjuna locals have yet again come together to fight for their coastal village. The recent beautification project to construct a wall over the beach by Goa Tourism Development Corporation is considered a destruction of the beach by locals. Locals oppose this project as they claim it is a waste of people's money as strong waves and the rise in seawater levels could damage the wall. Anjuna local Rahul Harmalkar has requested MLA Delilah Lobo to look into this matter and has urged the people of Goa to protect their shorelines.
Anjuna locals have yet again come together to fight for their coastal village. Locals oppose walls constructed over the Anjuna beach shoreline. Locals claim this project is a waste of taxpayers' money as strong waves could damage the wall.
15 दीस पयलीं और 20 दीस पयलीं हांव असोच एकदां येयल्लो तेन्ना म्हाका कळून चुकलें कितें कसलें तरी कंस्ट्रक्शन चालू आसा, वॉल्स बांदपाचें काम चालू आसा. 20 दीस जाता म्हटल्यार हे जर तुमी फाटल्यान पळोवंक शकता सारकें वयर खंय थंय फुडें पावल्या. हे सायडीन काम आहा पळय तें खऱ्यांनीच बरें केल्लें काम आसा. तेंच्यांनी अप्रिशिएट करपाचें आसलें. कित्याक सांग हांगासर मातशें कितें तरी हें जाय आसलें ब्युटिफिकेशन. पण ज्या जाग्यार आमी उबे आसा पळय थंय हांव ताका टॅग करता तें डिस्ट्रक्शन म्हणून. कित्याक काय म्हणयतात दर्या जो आसा पळय तो आमकां गिळकृत करता. दर्या वयर पावत आसा आनी खंयचे जे नाल आनी बोणे बांदल्या गव्हर्मेंट ऑफिसरान ते खबर ना आमकां दर्या हे भितर येता. हो वेस्ट ऑफ मनी, जनतेचो पयसो. आनी एक उदाहरण गव्हर्मेंट कसो वेस्ट करता पळय तो. कित्याक काय म्हणयतात तुम्ही खूप वर्सां पयलीं आयकलां आसतलें रिटेनिंग वॉल अशीच बांदलेली हांगा केरये बिचार. कितलोसोच करोडांनी पयशे हे केले वेस्ट केले लोकांक, कांयसवाच्या लोकांक, वागातोरच्या लोकांक. आतां तुमकां परिणाम कांयच जाणा जावचो ना. 10 वर्सांनी जेन्ना दिल्लीकार तुमचेर हावी जातले तेन्ना तुमकां विचार करपाचे पलीकडे आनी कांयच आसचें ना. कित्याक तुमच्या हातीन शेणी तेंची उरची ना, तुमची शेणी तेंच्या हातीन उरतली. हांगासर जे डिस्ट्रक्शन जाता हांव आतां नवो आमचो MLA पर्राचो MLA शिवोले जिखून येयला पळय ताका हांव विनंती करता हांगासर येवन लक्ष घालचें. कित्याक सांग लोकांनी तुजेर दिलायला लोबोचेर एक व्हडले आशेन तुका मत दिवन निवडून हाडला. लोकल पंचायत आहा पळय आमची सावयो आलिविदा सरपंच तेचे कडसून केन्नाच म्हाका अपेक्षा ना. कित्याक काय म्हणटा ताका असलें कांय पडलेलें ना. डिस्ट्रक्शन करता कितें करता कांय ना.
Prakash Kadekar for Herald TV.
And that's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.